Hello and welcome to the latest Catena Cast. I'm Claire Bicknell, the owner of Catena, the Business Connections Network, and we use these podcasts as the opportunity to get to know the businesses that are members of the network and to meet the people who run them. We're here today at the Donington Manor Hotel, which is situated between Nottingham, Derby and Leicester, so an ideal meeting place, and with easy access to East Midlands Airport. And luckily, we're not on the flight path. So come with me now and meet our next guest. There is a saying that to know a man, you need to walk in his shoes. And my next guest has done a lot of walking. In fact, he's just come back from a fundraising trek to Cambodia. So actually, I don't want to get anywhere near his shoes. So let's take this opportunity just to have a good chat with him and get to know him and his business a little more. So I'd like to introduce you to Shaun Patrick, who is Chairman and Chief Executive of Not Sport. So thank you, Shaun, for coming into... That almost sounds like I'm talking German, doesn't it? Thank you, Shaun. Thank you, Shaun, for coming in to talk to us today. I mentioned that you've just been on a trek, but before we talk about that, can you talk a little bit about Not Sport, the business, what it does, just to give us a flavour of that?
Yes, Not Sport's our family business. We've been going since 1984, so 34 years old this month. We are involved in the supply and design of artificial sport surfaces for cricket pitches, artificial hockey pitches, 3G football pitches, and we work across the UK, but we also work a lot in the States and across 20 countries around the world as well.
So the States are interested in English sport. I mean, we've seen the Beckham effect with soccer or football.
We do quite a lot of cricket pitches in the States, which is a bit strange, but there are quite a few pockets of cricket played in the States. But the main products we sell are playground surfacing in the States, as well as the sports pitches. And that, our big flagship project is that we do a number of the projects in Central Park in New York. And we're the chosen supplier for those playgrounds. So it's artificial surfacing for head impact criteria for underneath playground equipment.
So when you feel that sort of bouncy tarmac, that's you, is it?
Well, our version's slightly different from that. It uses artificial grass carpeting that's made in the UK, and we send that out along with a series of tiles and things which provide the shock absorbency.
Oh, right. I can recall having seen some of your children's playgrounds, pictures of them, and I've got in my mind, being from London anyway, the tube train.
Yes.
That is most delightful. So I hope that we're able to include a picture of that in this podcast. And actually, we have something else in common, don't we? Because my husband used to work for you when he was a boy cricketer.
Yeah. Well, when Darren was playing for Surrey, we took
pity on him.
Darren and another colleague of Darren's, Chris Bullen, ended up working for us for a couple of winters. When those were the days when cricketers only got a 6-month contract, and so they were always looking for work. And I remember taking Darren on, and at the time, Martin, Darren's brother, was also looking for a job. And I basically sent the two of them off into a darkened room, and I think Darren is the older brother, isn't he? Yeah. He came out and said he was doing it. So,
I can imagine how he got that.
and Darren was selling our artificial cricket pitches very successfully as well for a couple of winters around independent schools and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, glad the boy done good.
Yes. And then he ended up living up in this neck of the woods.
Yes, and then you and I sort of found each other, as it were, and I had not realised that there was that back.
I think Darren probably put it to the back of his mind as well.
Yes. Oh no, the Bicknells are after me.
Yeah.
So you were saying that it's a family business.
Yes.
How many generations?
Well, my father set the business up in 1984 with myself as well, and he retired probably 20 years ago. Our previous family business was involved in sportswear, and we sort of fell into this in sort of 80s, and my son Will, he now works in the business on the hockey pitch side of the business. And my other son Jack, he also worked for us on the marketing side.
Yes, I met Jack actually. He came on one of our Catena courses. One of the members had done a marketing course pretty much on this kind of thing, videoing, YouTubing, podcasting, that kind of thing. And Jack and his colleague took to it like a duck to water, whereas sort of people my age were very frustrated by it, but they were so good at helping us with all that difficult technology, and they were so enthusiastic about it.
Yeah, they were. One of our key things is that we like to have young people running the marketing side for us. We do all our own marketing in-house, and we've become quite good at social media and that sort of thing. So,
please share this.
Yes, we will be doing, yes. And we actually have Twitter courses, which we run at lunchtime, so all the staff know how to use Twitter and other forms of social media. So we're sort of on it all the time.
Yeah, excellent. So let's move on to the trek now. How did that come about?
When we've been working with Help for Heroes for just over 2 years now. My son Jack, who I mentioned, unfortunately passed away from a really rare disease, Goodpasture's syndrome, in November 2015. Jack was only 20 years old, but Jack had always been a big supporter of Help for Heroes. He was always trying to get involved in Help for Heroes events. Every photo you see of him, he had a Help for Heroes wristband on. And so when it came to the funeral, the family were asked if we'd like the money to go to a charity, and we all said, well, our charity as a family is Help for Heroes, and Jack was passionate about it. And that's where the ball started rolling. So a lot of his friends started contacting us and said, we'd like to do a challenge for Help for Heroes, raise some money in Jack's name. And it developed from there, and it became a legacy that we've built on over the last, since November 2015 when Jack passed away. And we've organised various events, and I've generally always been the one holding the flag at the end and clapping people over the line. And about 9 months ago, we decided, myself and my wife Emma decided we'd actually put ourselves through a challenge as well. So we ended up doing a trek around Cambodia, which was very tough. Yes,
I'd imagine. Well, I think it's probably appropriate now to bring in your contact from Help for Heroes. So I'd like to bring in Dean Williams. Thanks for joining us. So tell us a little bit about Help for Heroes and what it does.
So Help for Heroes is a military charity, so we support anybody that's been wounded, injured or sick as a result of serving in the armed forces at any time. And of course that includes regular serving personnel, veterans and their families. Families quite often take on a large part of the burden, so it's important that we include them in this. The charity's been going about 10 years now, and we've supported over 17,000 individuals directly.
Wow.
And there's still a massive job to do. We've done some research with the King's College in London, which showed that between 1991 and 2014, bearing in mind the charity supports anybody that's served at any time, so just this little time between 91 and 14, showed that 235,000 individuals are deployed on one or more operations. So if somebody did multiple tours, we only counted that once. Out of that, we estimate that about 66,000 will need support either now or in the future. And that's just regular service personnel. So you've got veterans, families. So you could quite easily add another 60,000 onto that. So we've supported about 1 in 5 so far. So there's still a huge task ahead.
So how did you and Shaun meet up then?
Well, as the regional fundraising manager, I'm aware of all fundraising events going on within my region. And I saw this notification come through in my email saying there's a football match. And I thought, well, that's only down the road from me. I'll give them a bell and see if they want a bit of support, see if they want a flag and some banners and balloons. I can come along, bring Hero Bear, cheer them on. And they went, yeah, that'd be great.
Hero Bear today?
I know, sorry.
His day off, obviously.
He's been busy with Debenham, so he's sitting down with his feet up now.
Other department stores are available.
So I popped along to this football match, and it was called the Jack Patrick Trophy. And then I met Shaun, and I started talking to Shaun about Charity of the Year partnerships. and how businesses can work with a charity on that. Shaun was interested in doing that. We met up later on, and it just escalated from there, and he's just been on a fundraising sort of
Jamboree
since then.
Well, let's talk about the trek then. So how long was it?
Too long. It basically, we trekked for 6 days in various types of terrain in Cambodia, through the jungle, up a mountain, and never having been the fittest of lads, Dean was occasionally sending me messages saying, "How's the training going?" I thought, yeah, I better do some more walking and that. So actually, I did lose about 3 stone, and we did a lot of walking in preparation, Claire. And then the trek itself was ended up at Angkor Wat Temple. I must admit, I felt very nervous before we did it. That wasn't just having to fly economy, by the way. It was sleeping in tents and in monasteries and the actual walking. And when we got there, they said, by the way, the heat is worse than normal. So you're going to be trekking in 40 degrees of heat and 95% humidity each day. So we thought, okay, that's fine. 45 minutes in, the first person, who was a lot younger than me, was being sick. And I thought, this is going to be a real challenge. But we did it, and it was absolutely shattering. But the people were amazing. We walked with, and Dean can tell you a little bit more about the Band of Brothers and the Band of Sisters. So there were some beneficiaries on the trek with us. We had a group of 6, myself, Emma, and 4 friends. We called ourselves Team Jacko. And then there was, in total, there was 32 on the trek, plus the support staff and a full-time doctor, which she was needed quite a lot, especially as some people went down with salmonella. Fortunately, I wasn't one of them. But it was absolutely brilliant and inspiring to talk to, the guys who've been out there in Afghanistan and come back and had issues, and what Help for Heroes does for them. And as well, the Band of Sisters, who were amazing as well. So we did well.
Yeah, Dean, tell us about the Band of Sisters then.
So we've got a fellowship programme called the Band of Brothers and the Band of Sisters. So the Band of Brothers is for anybody that's a beneficiary of the charity, essentially. So those that are wounded, injured or sick. They can be male or female, and they become part of the Band of Brothers. It's something that our beneficiaries can opt into if they want to, and they become part of this fellowship. So if we get offers of hospitality, so go and watch England play football at Wembley, we've got this network, and we can send the offers out to these guys and girls. The Band of Sisters is for the nearest and dearest of those that are members of the Band of Brothers. So you could have a female staff sergeant in the Band of Brothers, and her husband will be in the Band of Sisters, and he'll get a pink hoodie, and he kind of likes it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a fellowship, support network. And they're quite good. They support each other, and we can offer them trips on the treks.
I was going to say, if this sounded as horrendous as you were painting it with the conditions, was that a good thing? And this is a bonus that you can send them on, or do they actually really enjoy it?
They enjoy it. I mean, they like to
I don't think the ones who got salmonella did. But,
no, okay, fair enough.
No, that happened on the flight on the way back.
So. Oh, okay.
I'll answer that, Claire, that I just think it for a lot of them it was a break. It was a week, 10 days off from, some, challenging conditions that they face at home. And, to them it cleared their heads, a lot of them, and that sort of thing. And they were it was brilliant for us because we've been working hard with fundraising, and you do think, this is quite a slog raising all this money. Having met them, it's just spurring all of us on to do more. And, so there's, I did wonder myself whether but it was actually very enjoyable. The conditions made it funny.
Yeah. So, Dean, if you have the carers, the supporters, the family away in this instance, who is left at home doing the home care?
Well, the beneficiaries are usually sort of self-dependent and self-medicating, but any of them can go to a recovery centre at any time.
So
and
you hadn't taken away their support?
No, we've got 4 recovery centres around the country, one in the north, one in the east, one in the south and one in the west. and they're all City and Guilds accredited. So it's not just going there for a jolly. They go there and do meaningful activities and come away with some either life-changing experiences or qualifications. And they can go there any time, spend a week, 2 weeks there at a time, and engage in the recovery activities.
Oh, you can see exactly why you'd be supporting this. I want to go back to now you've whetted my appetite for the horrors that you've gone through with this trek. So what was it like? What were you walking through? Was it jungle? Were there creepy crawlies?
Yeah, we saw one snake that someone said don't go anywhere near it. So it was highly poisonous. We did, so it was a fairly flat walk for most of the days, but some of it was through paddy fields, so you get wet. The jungle bit was actually a little bit cooler when we were on top of a mountain doing that, but it was just baking hot, and it was an area. It was incredible the way Help for Heroes had organised it. They worked with a specialist travel company, and the way they organised it was to have local guys on the ground who were actually finding new routes. And so realistically, we were the first people to actually do this trek. And they've only done it 4 times before, and we veered off and went through villages where they hadn't seen Western people before, and the welcome we got everywhere. But it was it was great fun. It was very challenging. I think as a group we drank, I can't remember, something like 10,000 litres of water in a week.
That's so different from your usual Facebook.
Yes, I know. Yes, yeah. My normal Facebook posts generally involve something stronger than water. Yes, yes.
Did your treks around the local villages of Leicestershire at night time suitably train you?
Yes, yeah. Well, actually, yes. The thing was, we were training all winter, and we weren't stopping at pubs on the way, but we were training all winter in the night time, in completely the opposite conditions to what we were facing when we got there. So it was just about getting a lot of mileage in the legs, basically. Yeah, and I just really struggled one day with going up a mountain, but because we don't get many of those in Leicestershire. Mm-hmm. And but then, yeah, generally it was just really, you just had to keep yourself hydrated and watch out for talking about creepy crawlers. I remember at night time we were. You're not going to be staying in hotels. We were staying at monasteries where they put you up on the floor in the monastery, and you all slept in the same room and shared basically 2 hole-in-the-ground toilets with a load of monks, and they doubled up as showers. And then you went in there at night, and some luminous eyes would appear on the wall, and you look at your head torch, there'd be a spider like that there, and you go, oh no, But yeah, it was it focused your mind on Help for Heroes and what other people go through and everything, and it was just so out of the comfort zone. It was brilliant.
So, what have you taken personally from this trip?
That I'll probably end up signing up for another one. I think I'm doing a fire walk soon, aren't I?
You looked at Dean's face.
Yeah, well, I know that Dean's
I've got a whole line of challenges all ready to go.
I've just got to be a bit careful of donor fatigue, I think, because. But no, it's interesting, really. It made you feel very humble. I felt very attached to the band of brothers, the band of sisters we walked with, and it really made us realise that our money does make a difference, and I know that Help for Heroes, a massive percentage of the money that's raised, I think we're about 80, but I always think of we, but we're about 82%, something like that, of money raised gets right to the people, which for a charity is an enormous percentage. And it's just when you talk to people and they say how the money's benefited them and this sort of thing, just spurs you on.
Mm. So you're talking about money. How much have you raised?
We've been doing various fundraising events, but this one in particular, the 6 of us have raised over £30,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
so
that's amazing.
I don't know what thank you, and I don't know what the group as a whole raised, but we could be towards 100,000, something like that. What you do know is that the money's going to a really good cause, and so we were really chuffed, and we're still raising money for it. Hint. Just giving Shaun Patrick. We're still raising money, and we had a Frank Sinatra night to celebrate the end of the trek on Saturday night in our local pub. Much more of a comfortable environment for me, and that raised another £750 towards our trekking fundraising pages. And, you know, it carries on, and we've now got other events coming up. We've got the Jack Patrick football match, again, which Jack's made. We've got the big cricket match on June the 22nd. I've got to ask Darren if he'll pay in that, by the way.
Okay, I will pass this on.
Yeah, yes, Darren, I want you to pay in the cricket match June the 22nd. We get some celebrity players for that, and Darren as well, hopefully. And that usually raises quite a decent amount as well, doesn't it? That'll be the third year. That's at Jack's old cricket club, Lutterworth, and the Barmy Army get involved. And I'm a member of the Barmy Army, and Jack was, and my other son Will was, or is, and so we get them involved, and it's a really good day. So lots of other things going on. I know there's other events coming up.
Usually have golf events.
Yeah, we've got a golf event later this year.
Quizzes.
Yes, so all things, but it's all good fundraising events. You know, I think people like fundraising when it's fun.
It puts the fun into fundraising.
Yeah, that's right. You know, there's a lot of ways of raising money. I just think you might as well make them enjoyable.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for telling us all about that. I think we need to come back and talk to you after your next challenge. What was it? Firewalking?
Oh, yes. This is we're involved, not sport. We partner with an organisation called Hockey for Heroes who raise money for Help for Heroes, and they do some absolutely crazy stuff. And I got a phone call last week from someone at England Hockey who said, would you like to get involved in an event in May? We'd like loads of not sports staff to get involved, and we're going to finish with a fire walk at night, which we'll get everyone to get sponsorship for. So so that's another thing that I'd never thought I'd do, but seems quite easy now in Cambodia.
Yes, I can put like that. I guess it is. I made a comment just before I introduced you about your shoes. Well, they're not going to be any good after your firework either, are they? So we are going to include some details of how you can help for Heroes, and Shaun's Just Giving page as well. So thank you both very much indeed for speaking to us today. I have one thing that I'd like to give to you. Bottle of Catena wine
From Catena.
for you, and a bottle of
fantastic.
Catena wine for you. So thank you very much indeed. Use it as medicine.
Yeah, much appreciated.
Yes. Thanks very much
Lovely.
for coming in and
Thanks,
talking
Claire.
to us.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks.